Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series where I try to get you the most MGP possible from the Gold Saucer minigame every Friday when judging begins. This week is week 154, and as you can see, the theme is Bound to Freedom. The individual clues include 2 chains for your helm, 2 cool for your chest, pirates in the sky for your gloves, and fashion bandit for your legs. In this video, I have a 100 score, the 80 with dies, which is pretty awful this week, and the easiest possible 80 to top it off as well. So without further ado, let's get into that 100 and see what we get. The pieces this week are pretty easy to come across for the 100, although one of the dungeons, Som All, is something you have to run religiously, and it took me quite a while to actually get the piece I wanted from that. I am of course talking about the legs, which you can see in this preview here. So let's get past this cutscene as fast as possible so I can show you exactly what we got. Apart from the legs, however, the rest of the pieces should be fairly easy to get for you. Mostly just vendor purchased if you've misplaced them, or from veteran rewards, but I'll show you in just a second. So as you can see, we're going to get that 100 nice and easy. Easy peasy. So to get 100 then, the first piece of gear is the helmet, which is 2 chains, which is the Dark Steel Chain Coif, which is the one I went for. This is actually because it was a Lancer Dragoon one. This is equipable by level 50 Lancer or Dragoon. Alternatives that would work better if you had the tanking legs, in particular from Som All, would be the Bronze Chain Coif. That's actually from every low-level city-state vendor, such as Gwalter in Steps of Thal. Very easy to obtain, and in fact will be used in our Easy 80 later, in actual fact. But I wanted something that I could use with whatever legs dropped first, and unfortunately the Lancer ones dropped first, so we went with the Dark Steel Chain Coif for that. Other alternatives include the Mithril Chain Coif, the Cobalt Chain Coif, the Doctor's Chain Coif from Halatali, the Templar's Chain Coif, which is from the Market Board or Desmel Darkhold. The Vermilion Chain Coif apparently will also work from Wanderer's Palace / Amdapor Keep as well. So that's your helm, and that's the one I went with this week. For the chest then, I went with the Scion Adventurer's Jacket. This was originally from an MSQ quest, specifically the Greater Obeisance. This is part of the main storyline progression of the game. If you have misplaced this, you can go to a Calamity Salvager, look under the quest rewards, and you can get it for 100 gil. Not too difficult to actually obtain. Other alternatives, if you haven't got this, however, include the Animos Jacket from Animos Lockboxes from Eureka, or the Leonhardt Jacket, which is the 330-day veteran reward for subscribing to the game. For the gloves then, I went with the Tantalus gloves, or cuffs rather. These are from the 150-day veteran reward for being subbed to the game. Alternatives to this, if you don't have this set, is the Sky Pirates gloves. So the Sky Pirates gauntlets of fending, maiming, striking, scouting, aiming, and healing will all give you gold rating. But of course, depending on those legs this week is the ones you want to go for. Speaking of the legs then, it can be any woad legs, so that's any leg piece that drops in Som All, but of course since we're dealing with the helm slot being basically a chain coif, there's basically Lancer Dragoon or any of the tanks is your options. So this is why we went with well, basically these dropped first and were my best solution. Alternatively, I would have spent a little bit extra time to get some tank legs so we could get the Bronze Chain Coifers instead, which would have cost me less gil in total, but at the end of the day, those are the ones that I went with. But yes, that's pretty much it for the 100 score, dictated by those legs. So that might not be everyone's cup of tea, so let's move on to the 80 with dies, although I do pre-warn you it's not great. Right, and as you can see, we've had a bit of a colour change here. That's because we've used an obscene amount of gunmetal black, as you can see. So that includes any weapon in the game that's dyeable being a gunmetal black, any helm in the game being gunmetal black, any chest in the game being gunmetal black, any gloves in the game being gunmetal black, and any boots in the game being gunmetal black, with the only difference there being the legs getting the best in slot dye there from all brown from the Kobold vendor there from that beast tribe. So, yeah, that's a lot of gunmetal black. So that's either Ishgardian restoration scripts, which you really don't want to be spending since there'll be new rewards very soon for that with patch 5.41, or of course the market board with an obscene amount of gil, which of course, I don't know, maybe that's the sort of thing you want to do, but this isn't my idea of a very simple attitude towards Fashion Report. So let's move on to a much easier option, and in fact the easiest 80 possible of the week. Okay then, so moving on to that easy 80, just some random gear plopped together here, don't worry about that. But the thing you have to be more attentive to is the helm. We went for that bronze chain coif from low-level city-state vendors, which costs pretty much nothing in the grand scheme of things. 264 gil from our good pal Gwalter or any of the other low-level city-state vendors, and that's undyed. And then we've simply got any chest piece equipped in this. It just gives you 1 star for that. Don't worry about that. Just gave me a point for no reason. This is just one of the Ivalice raid pieces for tank. Then we dyed any gloves in the game soot black. As you can see, there can be any gloves at all. These are just the Buccaneer ones. Means nothing. They're just soot black. That got us 2 stars. And then any legs in the game. These are actually the Kupo trousers, but doesn't matter what they are, as long as they're dyed all brown dye. Again, from those kobolds, not particularly difficult. It's only about, what, 216 gil from that vendor or from the market board. And that was enough to give us 2 stars. So 2 stars here, 2 stars there, a chest giving us 1, and then a gold for that helm gives us a very comfortable 80. Now make sure you have something equipped in all of these gear slots. Do not have something empty. It's very important. And you will get 80 guaranteed if you follow this. Simple as that. Very easy MGP, 60,000 base or more if you have the MGP buffs on. Thank you very much to Kayako Star and the rest of the people on the Reddit thread who have collated all of the information from various different sources this week. As every week, I will link, of course, that Reddit thread in the description of this video. Go and give them the love and support they deserve for all of this hard work. But of course, thank you so much to all of the people region-wide, especially in Japan, who are always the first people to work this out before any of us in the West. And all we do is collate the information and distribute it to people like yourselves watching this video now. So much love to our Japanese community. Thank you kindly for watching this. Let me know if you've got any solutions yourself, any additions to this, and I'll see you all next time.